Hi everyone, this is Embedded Public Services Librarian Brittany Shawley here at JCC. Today we are going to be discussing how to formulate your search strategy and your research question. So in the previous video we worked on selecting a topic and defining that topic. Today we are going to put together a search strategy that you are going to be able to plug into any of our library databases to get really credible information to be able to back up your arguments. So let's go ahead and get started. This video on developing your search strategy will cover how to refine your topic in question, how to create a concept map, how to identify search terms, how to put together a search strategy, and finally, how to carry out that search strategy in one of our library databases. To begin, I'm going to write my topic in the form of a question. For this example, I have chosen Frank Lloyd Wright's influence on architecture. I have also been specific and chosen the year 2016. A good research question will have a clear objective. You're pretty much asking, what do I want to find out? For this reason, your question should be detailed and focused, not too narrow or not too broad. A question that is too narrow may not return many results. Let's try looking at my original search question inside one of our library databases. For this example, I'm using ProQuest Central, which looks like this, and we're going to put in my original research question. And let's look. I only received 7 results back, and as I'm scrolling through those, it does not look like very many of those have to do with Frank Lloyd Wright. This is a clue that my original research question may be too narrow. To solve this, I need to broaden slightly. Let's go back and broaden my research question. To broaden my research question, let's think about some key words we may have brainstormed when deciding on our topic. You could also do some type of web or some type of concept map. Frank Lloyd Wright, architecture, influence, modern, houses, interior design, and this leads me to conclude that I could change my question to how has Frank Lloyd Wright influenced modern architecture? This does not cast as narrow of a net as my previous question, which included the specific year 2016. Instead, I'm looking at just modern architecture. Let's see how this search pans out. Now that I have pulled out my key topics, I could search for each of these individually, but this would take some time. Instead, I'm going to use what we call a Boolean operator. This particular Boolean operator I'm going to be using is called OR. This will allow me to cast a wide net and search all of these search terms at the same time in any library database. For example, this is the same as me searching Frank Lloyd Wright plus architecture plus modern plus influence. Let's see how this pans out within our database. Now that I've pulled out my search terms, I'm going to cast a wide net by using the Boolean operator to search within this database. For example, I could go through and I could search Frank Lloyd Wright influence, Frank Lloyd Wright modern, Frank Lloyd Wright architecture, Frank Lloyd Wright interior design, etc., etc. Instead, I want to be able to save some time and do all of this at once. So I'm going to use the Boolean operator and some parentheses. So I'm putting in Frank Lloyd Wright, I'm putting in a parenthesis, and I'm going to type in architecture, Boolean operator OR, modern, Boolean operator OR, influence. And let's see if I get more than the 7 search results that were returned the first time I tried searching for my topic. So I have gotten a lot of results. I have 53,019 results. Now, how do I narrow this down? There are a few very simple ways to do this. Right now it's showing you by relevance. A good option is to always either check here or here that you want something that is available in full text online. This will narrow your results some. You could also change the date range. For example, if your instructor has given you a specific date range that they want it within, you can narrow that here. So I'm going to change mine to 2000 up through 2010 to 2019, and I'm going to press update. So as you can see, my results are narrowing. I want everything with the full text included. And all that means is that you aren't just going to be reading somebody's abstract on something. And it is always a good idea to check that you want something that is peer-reviewed. If it is peer-reviewed, you know that it is credible because an expert in the field has reviewed it and deemed it to be so. Another tip, and something that I usually use, is I always choose scholarly journals in addition to peer-reviewed, just to almost double cover myself, and this way I know that my research is 100% credible. And look at that, I have now narrowed down to 2,915 results. That is much, much, much more manageable than 50,000 or 2 million Google search results. So looking here, this first one says Frank Lloyd Wright and Paul Mueller, the architect and his builder of choice. So this compared to when I typed my research question in the first time, now I'm actually getting things that are related to what I searched, and it is as simple as pulling out your key terms and knowing how to use these Boolean operators. I just saved myself a ton of time. This could have been 4 searches, or it could have been 1 search. The choice ultimately is up to you. Always remember that regardless of which database you choose to use, the search strategies taught here today all function within the databases in about the same way. You can always come here to the electronic resources page on the library website and scroll through our over 50 databases that we have available to you. If you have questions, you can always contact me or contact another librarian for help formulating any type of search strategy at any time. If you have activities related to this video, please go ahead and complete those now, and I will see you next time.